You won't believe this, but did you know that the first electric car was actually built way back in 1888? It's true, it was called the Flokin Electro Wagon, and it looked like an open carriage with a tiny 1 horsepower motor and a rechargeable lead-acid battery. Imagine cruising at a top speed of just 9 miles per hour. Pretty wild, right? But yeah, the 1800s were full of crazy innovations like this. But before we proceed, please subscribe to EV Owners channel. It's a channel dedicated for you guys. It will motivate us to post more videos like this one. Did you subscribe? Come on, do it. Okay, nice, let's go. By the early 1900s, electric cars were actually pretty common, especially for city use. It's kind of like what we are seeing today with EVs becoming popular for urban commutes. One of the standout models from back then was the Detroit Electric, which started production in 1907. This car was pretty impressive for its time. It had a range of 80 miles and a top speed of 20 miles per hour, perfect for city folks who didn't need to go too far or too fast. But of course, these early electric cars had their challenges. For one, gasoline was super cheap, and the performance of these EVs wasn't exactly thrilling. Plus, back then, no one was really thinking about environmental issues like we do today. So, electric cars started to lose their appeal. Here, where it gets really interesting. Early electric cars had a major advantage because you didn't need to hand crank them to start. Those early gasoline cars, you had to crank them by hand, which was a real pain. But then the game changed in 1908 with the introduction of the Ford Model T. This car was a real game changer. It could hit a top speed of 42 miles per hour and had a range of 200 miles on a full tank of gas. Not only that, but it was also super affordable. The Model T started at $850 when it first came out and got even cheaper over time, dropping to just $370 by 1921. Meanwhile, the Detroit Electric cost almost $3,000. It's no wonder gas cars took over. Two big developments sealed the deal for gasoline cars. The invention of the electric starter in 1911, which made gas cars much easier to use, and the fact that most people didn't have electricity at home to charge their EVs. By 1925, only half of American homes had electricity, but gas stations were popping up everywhere, so it was easier for most people to buy a cheap Model T and fuel it up at a nearby gas station. After their brief heyday, electric cars pretty much vanished for almost a century. All the focus and money went into improving gasoline engines, but even back then, the brief popularity of electric cars showed their potential as a cleaner and quieter alternative. Fast forward to the late 20th century, and suddenly, people started worrying about climate change. This brought electric cars back into the spotlight. Modern EVs, like those from Tesla, produce zero emissions while driving, which is a huge plus for the environment, and thanks to big investments, battery technology has come a long way. Governments around the world are now pushing for more electric cars on the road with tax credits, subsidies, and grants. In Norway, nearly 80% of new cars sold in 2022 were electric. Meanwhile here, it's still around 5%. So there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of work left to do in promoting the widespread adoption of EVs, especially in rural areas where gasoline cars still dominate. As technology advances, electric cars are getting cheaper and charging times are getting shorter. This means EVs will become more accessible to everyone, not just city folks. Future battery advancements might even bring down charging times to match the convenience of refueling a gasoline car. Remember the Detroit Electric from 1907? Today's EVs are way more competitive with gas cars, if not even better, in many ways. We have come a long way since the days of Flokin Electro Wagon. Today, electric cars are not only viable, but often preferred for their environmental benefits and performance. It's exciting to think about what the future holds for EVs. So, the next time you see a Tesla or any other electric car, remember, they are standing on the shoulders of over a century of innovation, and this time, they are here to stay. Exciting times ahead for EVs. If you liked this video, please drop a like down below and tell us what you think in the comments section. And most importantly, please don't forget to subscribe. When you subscribe, you motivate us to make more videos like this one. Thank you for watching.